What is up, guys? King of Underworld back at you with some more energy this time, as my voice is finally recovered. I try not to push it today, but good to know that I'm back in tip-top shape. Yeah, sorry again about you two not being out yesterday, for those who wanted the series, but I'm pretty sure most of you do not want to bash your head against the wall. So I guess it's a blessing in disguise. I will most likely have that out Thursday. And one thing I really just found out when I looked at my schedule and looked at my content, I have not uploaded a Pokemon part in a while because I completely forgot to put it on the schedule. And seeing as I didn't actually notice I had 8 series running, I, I guess I'll just sneak it in every so often when I feel like people want it. So I might replace a part of another series with it, but yeah, bear with me with that. Anyway, instead of just worrying about that, let's get right into it. So the last part we left off, well, Deku decided to take an internship with Present Mike, as Present Mike tried to do his best to get him out of his shell and talk and be open more about himself. As, well, he could relate to him as Yamada, being a flashy person and all, really was just the cover, especially back in middle school and high school. It's only when he became a hero he really grew into himself. And he wanted to impart that wisdom onto, Deku, as he sees, part of himself in there, being afraid of his own quirk, as people don't understand that being loud, honestly, is more punishing on the person who is the one speaking. So, he had taken an internship and, the events of Hosu happened, as he took down Stain, and Setsuna had arrived to help him in that regard. Then, right towards the end, flying Nomu appeared out of nowhere, as he crushed it into a ball before it even harmed Setsuna. And that's how we're going to jump into to this new part. He offered Setsuna a hand up and says, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine, that's just a bit scary." He embraced her and just said, "That was too close to my liking." And she said, "I know. I'm glad I have you there." As well, the pro-heroes were now shocked because they were still trying to clean up the area of all the Nomus, as he said, "No need. I'll finish this right now. I'm not allowing any of these things to slip through my fingers." And he said, "Stand back and cover your ears." As, oops, sorry about the bang on the desk. He turns up his mask to the full volume, as he said, "No moves! Return to me!" As his voice was giving out at this point, but he wanted to finish this now. He was already coughing up blood, and Setsuna's telling him, "Stop! Don't do this! It's reckless!" He says, thing about the reckless heroes is that they're the ones that are most heroic. As he was coughing up a bit and decides to he grabbed out his little bottle and took a sip and was like, I'll finish this in one go. As the Nomus all start approaching his location, as all of them are within line of his eyesight, as he just says, "Crush and eviscerate." As they get, all the Nomus that are in his line of sight, as he got a little boost up from, Endeavor. He was thrown into the air as all of them were down below him. He could see all of them at once, as they got torn to pieces, and then crushed by an intense gravitational field, which, even though they're not inside of, the Berry Heroes could feel the absolute pressure, and were just very unnerved, and was like, "What is this kid? He's able to crush these things without giving us trouble so easily." As, he all of them had just been torn apart. The ones that were trying to escape and fall back, gone. As well, he lands back down on the ground and rolls to shake off the force. And Sasana comes in and says, "Are you alright?" As well, Izuku just takes off his mask and holds a hand to her face. Says, "Salmon." Says, "No, don't lie to me. Come on, let's get you to recovery, girl." As well, he just went. As there was a bit of blood. Says, uh, "Salmon, salmon, uh, tuna." Well, and just keeps things like, "Stop trying to speak. Just preserve your voice. I'll get you to her." As he says, "Endeavor, can you please take care of all this?" As well, since she had a bit of death glare going on, even he was a bit intimidated. And says, yeah, yes, we'll take care of this. It's our jobs after all." Says, "Good. Well, I'll be taking him off to recovery, girl." Says, and says, "Do you need someone to escort you?" I think, as she looks back and says, "I think we'll be fine." Uh, a chill runs down her spine and says, "Jeez, frightening." Uh, well, she whisks him off to recovery girl, and then she just restored him, as he did have a bit of energy left in him after fighting all the Nomus. However, she's like, "You're a very reckless one. You know that young man. What's this, the third time this has happened? Oh, you're gonna give me a heart attack, and I can't heal myself. Not as youthful as I was. Anyway, you need to be more careful. You might have godlike powers, but don't let that go to your head. You're still only human. You could have lost your voice." As you said, "Salmon, salmon, salmon." Ah, can you please just let your boyfriend know that it's quite reckless of him to do what he does? It's so unmanageable. As Sasson just says, "I'll make sure he pulls in line." As they get a knock at the door, and it's actually President Mike. As Sasson says, "President Mike, what are you doing here?" I heard my good buddy over here was in the hospital, so I thought I'd come and see if he was alright. It looks like it was just a bit of a scrap, wasn't it?" As well, Deku gives him a big smile and a thumbs up and just says, "Simon." He's like, "I'll never understand you, kid, but I like the spirit." He says, "What are you here for?" "Oh, well, I just said I was coming here to check on, Izuku here. However, I also came to talk with him for a bit, if you wouldn't mind." Says, "No, I'll be waiting out in the corridor then." Says, "Alright." As well, both Recovery Girl and Setsuna back out for a bit. And says, "Now let me be serious with you. Do you know how worried I was?" As he says, "Sushi?" He had a confused look and says, "Well, if you can't answer, just hold on, where's your mask?" As he pops his head out and says, "Do you have that mask?" And he's like, "Oh yes, here, I have it. Sorry, it'd be much easier to communicate." As he puts it on, Deku, and says, "No, can you speak now?" And it's like, "Yes." Anyway, where were we? Do you know how worried I was? I finally started, I finally started training you. I found such, good promise within you. Saw the kindness in your heart. Do you know Do you know how upsetting it would have been if I finally found someone who was just like me that I could lead to the right direction? Almost throw it all away. It doesn't matter if you save countless lives. It doesn't matter how good heroes are. It doesn't mean anything if they're dead at the end of the day. Being a hero doesn't mean you have to sacrifice yourself. It means you live to fight another day for the freedom of others. And to stop those who you love crying because you're not there. Think of it. Think of how Setsuna would feel if you had lost your voice and you weren't able to express your feelings anymore. Or, worse, you die because you're too rough and it breaks. You can't speak and you lose. As, well, he starts having a down look, and then he says, "Ah, jeez, Mike, what are you doing? Ah, don't mind me. I'm just sorry, I was just worried about you. I saw so much of myself in you that I wanted to help you so badly. And, well, that's the reason why I was so worried. Please don't think I'm trying to make you upset and think you're an idiot. You did what was best, and if anything, you're more of a pro hero than most others who have been in this field for years. But after all that, I want to say I'm proud. You certainly showed me and everybody else that even if you had a hard upbringing, you can still make the best out of everything. And for, well, he reaches over to Izuku and just gives him a hug, as he wasn't really expecting it, as he slowly embraced. It's like, don't be too shy. Now, time to stop all the mopey stuff. Here, as he has 2 tickets in his hand and gives them to Izuku. Says, well, I'll give you these VIP tickets for my show that's coming up. I thought it'd be nice to go take your girlfriend out on a date. After all, I think you want to have a bit of time to relax after the situations that we had to face today. He says, thank you, Mike. What can I do to ever repay you? And it's like, as he just says with a big smile, be alive and stay there. Become who you are meant to be. As he walks out of the room, as he says, alright, you're allowed to go see your boyfriend again. As well, Izuku shuffles the tickets under the covers. As Setsuna walks in, like, what did he want? Well, he was scolding me a bit. And says, even someone as energetic as him has a serious side to him. Yeah, he does, but he also said he was proud of me. Oh, did he? He was proud that I was able to becoming a great hero. And I'm able to look out and live life to its fullest no matter what it throws at you. And he was very happy. However, he told me to always keep a smile on my... He wanted me to always keep a smile on my face, as well as, well, always come back to the loved ones with no regrets. And preferably no deaths, either. He says, yeah. Satsuna had just a bit of a sad look on her face, as she was just sitting on the end of his bed, and it's like, what are you doing so far away? It's like, oh, I didn't want to get too close to you as you might be hurt. And says, come here, as he picks her up and drags her onto the bed, and she lays down. He positions him to lay down next to her. Well, basically they're kind of like in a spooning position, but not really. They're laying next to each other in the bed. As he just hugs her tightly and just says, now wipe that frown off your face. I want to see that big smile you always have, the one I fell in love with. As she was blushing and tried to hide her face in her hands, as, well, he'd intercept that by blocking it with his hands, and then just going in for a kiss. She was just, well, glowing super red. It was almost emitting light. It's like, that was, that was cheeky. Oh, you think so? Well, how about instead we go on a date next? Well, we finish our internships this Friday, don't we? It says, yeah. It says, well, funnily enough, Friday, that night, there's a concert on. Yeah? Well, I might happen to have some tickets. It's like, oh, when'd you buy them? They're given to you by a friend. As he pulls them out from under the sheets and waggles them, he's like, wait, VIP tickets? Those have already been sold out for months. It's like, how'd you get your hands on them? It's like I said, a friend. So, do you want to go out on a date with me again? She just hugs him tightly and says, of course, anytime. Then, well, Friday comes around, which is technically just the next day, and well, they get ready after they had finished up, and so they're getting ready, and they met each other at the station as they went off to they went off to where the the place was, the center. So they got in here as they just like, oh, it's packed. Hey, says yeah, it is. It's like, well, where do we go? There's a sign that says VIP only. It says, well, I guess that's us. As they walk up and said, hold it, and says, did we do something wrong? As one of the guards that was there came came right up close to Deku, then bowed in front of him, like, can I please get your autograph? As he was, wait, what? As Setsuna just starts laughing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. It's just I didn't expect you to get some fans so soon. And says I really admired you at the sports festival, and you actually helped my mother out the other day. Oh, the host incident? Don't worry about it. But sure, if you want. As he signs the tag the guard is wearing and says, "Oh, I'll look at your tickets. All right, VIP, go on through. You two have a good night." As well, they both smile. They both smile and wave as they walk on to the VIP area. As they had a very good view of the stage, and well, they also got free complimentary drinks and food as they were just sitting there on the balcony. As they were just leaning on each other and just listening. But this is nice. I think so too. A lot less stressful than, well, you know. It says, yeah, don't mind me. I don't want to ruin this moment. Yeah, I hope it lasts like this forever. You're just a little kid. Nothing ever lasts forever. Well, not unless I say it does. Uh, well, you might need to add terrible jokes to your resume. He wasn't that bad. As, well, he, he looks, well, he just looks at her as she's watching the crowd and just says, I must protect her at all cost. She's the only one that I can't bear to lose. As, well, she looks eyes at him and says, what you looking at? Says, just admiring your beauty. Says, well, looks like you're Prince Charming tonight, aren't you? Well, I guess, but only if you'd be my princess. She glows a bit red and decides to counterattack by removing, by taking the mask off and kissing him directly. As this is when a bunch of the firework props that were in the stage start going up, as it basically lit their moment as everybody was cheering around, and it was kind of the most perfect scene you could possibly get for a kiss. Well, that night was very, very crazy. Then, well, it got the concert had finished up as well. They went backstage to go see President Mike as he, well, he wanted to say thank you for the tickets, and says, "Where are we going?" I was like, "Going backstage." I didn't think we had a backstage pass. It's like, we don't. Then why are we going back here? I know a friend. Wait, do you mean? Oh, did I forget to tell you? Yeah, the one who gave me the tickets was well, Mike. Wait, really? I thought you'd gotten those. And it's like, well, I did. He gave them to me. He gave them to me after, and said it'd be a nice thing to take you out on. And I took him up on his offer. After all, it was a magical night, wasn't it? Well, I guess I have to thank him now. Like, let's go see what he's up to. As I walk backstage and see, well, they see Mike just resting for a bit, drinking some water, and says, "Ah, Izuku, Setsuna, how are ya? Did you kids like the show?" Says, "We loved it, sir." "Ah, don't be so formal. Just call me Mike." Heh, well, thank you, Mike. It was probably one of the most magical nights I've had in a while. Glad to hear it. Ah, ah, I'm a bit worn out after all that. Yeah, why don't you come have a drink with me? But we're underage. Ah, who cares? One drink can't hurt you. Says, alright, only if you say so. Come on, I wouldn't be saying if I didn't know any better. Anyway, we can make it a toast to you. To me, what for? Well, if it wasn't for you, I'm pretty sure a lot of people's lives would have been changed, for better or for worse. However, you were there in a dark time, and you seemed to solve a problem that not even some not even the best of pro heroes could solve on their own. And to that I want to toast. To Izuku, as all of them just clink a glass together as they drink, and it's like, what is this? Well, technically it is alcohol, but it isn't. It's called Strong Zero. It's something I like to drink after one of these shows. Tastes more like juice than anything else. As it says, you can have another one if you want, but yeah, as well, Deku had drank another one. As says, like, whoa, slow down there, kid. And says, sorry, she's my voice. Well, my throat lately has been a bit itchy ever since I got healed. Sorry, I've been trying to drink as much as I possibly can, and well, since we're not at the since we're not at the bar, we can't just order a drink. Says, no, no, go ahead. After all, it's a celebration for you, so I'll let you drink up a bit and celebrate. Don't drink too much though. And so basically, they settle for two or three of them. And Setsuna only had one, as she didn't really need to drink as much because, well, she didn't feel the need to. As well, they look at the time and it's like, well, you guys better get going. You only got about half an hour till the trains call up late. As it's like, oh God, no. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you later, Mike. Says, you two kids have fun and try and stay out of trouble, okay? Says, we'll do so. As they start, well, as they start running along, they manage to get to the station. However, the last train is already gone. Says, well, shit. It's not fun, is it? It says, what are we gonna do? Well, we can try and find somewhere to stay. Says, yeah. As Setsuna says, but I don't have any money. And it's like, oh, don't worry about that. I've got that covered. Are you sure? I don't want to spend your money that you worked hard for. And it's like, don't worry, I get paid quite a decent sum. Um, really? It says, well, I used to do a few jobs here and there, and yeah, now it's I used to do advertising, so whatever I would say on the commercial caused to sell a lot, so they keep paying me royalties. As well, it says, I didn't know that. Yeah, it was part of the past I didn't exactly want to bring up too much. It says, hell, even you got a secret side to you. It says, alright, then let's go there. But, wait, but that's a hotel. And it's like, I don't mind. What, are you thinking about getting dirty tonight? It says, no, it's just, isn't it embarrassing? It's like, look, I'm tired at the moment, so I don't think it's much of an issue. Well, and at this point, well, Izuku's starting to feel a bit dizzy as he finally understood what Mike said about being careful. As he only thought he realized after looking at the can, well, an old can at the side of the street that happened to be lying around. As he's putting it in the bin, he's like, what? It's that strong? As bear in mind the drink I based it on is around about 9%, and having two or three of those is like having a good scotch or two. So, pretty strong. And Setsuna, I would say, it's pretty much a bit of a lightweight. So she's being a bit teasing. Just come on, come on. What are you embarrassed? And it's like, I'm not. As he's just getting flustered as the alcohol was kind of getting to his head. And says, all right then. And says, one night, please. Says, all right then. There you go, room 26. Says, thank you very much. As they head up and says, well, I'm gonna go take a shower. And Setsuna says, okay, now I'll lay down a bit. As, well, he starts going into the showers and just, well, cleaning himself up a bit as he didn't realize how muggy it was down the stage, and he was sweating a bit, especially after drinking the alcohol. And so he was just showering off as he was just sitting there going, the water's nice. Well, that's what he thought out in his head. Obviously, he's not going to wear his mask. And, well, then somebody snuck up from him from behind as he goes, Setsuna, uh, at the... Oh, did I surprise you? Come on, are you embarrassed? As he's trying he's trying to cover up a bit, and it's like, what are you doing? As he's going, sushi, mustard leaf, tuna, and tuna. It's like, why are you being so embarrassed now? Oh, could it be that you're... Oh, that's cute. The alcohol's gone to your head. As as she starts moving, I'd say she's wearing a button-up dress with a skirt. As she starts removing it off, and then as it says, "Oh no, my shirt's gotten wet. I need to take it off before I catch a cold." As she snuck on him while he's still in the shower, and then starts taking everything off. It says, "Well, I might as well get in now." As she just starts holding close to him. As he was trying not to look, and it's just he was very embarrassed and says, "Oh, that's cute when you're embarrassed." However, I think I'll have some fun with that. As he's going, bonito flakes. It's like, don't be so negative. As she pins it against the wall and starts making out with him. And decides to use her ability. So she removes one of her hands, then she just pins him to a wall, and then just starts using the hand to, well, get him ready. As he just starts making feet quivering, it starts, shaking a bit, and says, "Oh, been pent up lately. We'll see if we can work that out." As then he, well, he was a bit apprehensive as she just kept making out with him, so they wouldn't start speaking. As would she decided to do, a little trick. She'd attached the top half of her body from her legs, as she would use her legs to wrap around him like a spider and hold him from the front, almost like a pretzel. Says, "Let's try this." As then she starts, oh, going, having some fun, and she starts to initiate some bedtime sparring shower edition. As going at it, the steam made it, the steam plus all the alcohol in the body made everything so woozy, as they were just having fun, didn't realize what they were doing. They just kept going at it. As eventually, all the alcohol just went to his head and he started changing. As well, he grabs her torso and slams it back together with well, her waist, and then he turns off the shower and and says, "Oh, running the fun already. I was just getting started." As he just says, "Dry." As her hair and, her body's dried off, as well as his. It's like, then he picks her up and he walks over to the bed and just lays it down as he starts going to town. Then he decides to tease her as he was being a bit more bold than usual. Decides to tease her by saying, "sensitive." As he would run his finger along, up her leg, as she would just start shivering from that and leave out a few moans. As it says, "Tuna, tuna, salmon." It's like, "Please keep going." As he said, "Salmon," and then he started to eat takeout, if you know what I mean. As due to her increased sensitivity, she was screaming out for more, saying, "Keep going, keep going." As, she was, after he had finished, says, "Well, you're certainly magical with that tongue." As he wasn't finished, as he flips her over onto her stomach and then start and lifts her up into the air, and then just starts going at it from the back. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and it's so fun to do. And he was getting very assertive, and even bunched up her hair and started going a bit harder, as she was just screaming out, "Yes, yes, yes," so much. And before they had known it, by the time they were done, it was already sunrise. And, then, as they were huffing and puffing, Setsuna said, "Oh, that was certainly the best night of my life." As, Deku was just lazily laughing. Salmon, salmon. As they both fell asleep and woke up a few hours later, to a phone call saying, "Would you like to extend your stay?" As well, Satsuna started tackling him down and says, "Let's extend it for a few more hours." As then she started to take the lead. Says, it's nice to see you being so assertive last night. However, I like it when I'm on top as well." As she started taking over and did her same strategy. She, well, she found her underwear and stuffed it in his mouth and started pinning him down. As she just ravaged him until it was, almost 1 in the afternoon. As he got well, he was completely drained. And so I was just saying, "Oof, I think a little stress has worked out of my system now. What about yours?" Yeah, and looks like you fell asleep. As his phone starts ringing and it says, "Mom." It says, "Hello?" It's like, "Izuku, where have you been?" It says, "Oh, sorry, this is, Setsuna, his girlfriend." "Oh, you, that's right, Setsuna. Where is Izuku at now?" "Oh, he's asleep next to me. Sorry, the concert, went on a bit longer than we expected and we got caught up, so we missed the train. So he was just staying with me for the night and he'll be back. He'll be back in, home before, I'd say about 3. Just, okay, I trust you. Well, you kids don't have too much fun." He says, "Don't worry about that Miss Midoriya." And then she hangs up. She had already texted her parents, saying that she was going to be out, but she'll be back by the afternoon, the next morning, or the next day. As well, I I'd say that they get cleaned up and actually wash off this time, and then go home after. As well, they were just walking along to the station and catch the train train home. Setsuna was just clinging to his arm the whole entire time with a big bright smile on her face. As well, Deku was a bit drained, but still had a bright smile on his face, as he wasn't wearing the mask because, he didn't feel like it at the time. So he was just walking along, as it's probably the best night of his life he's gonna have so far. And then this is where I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave it off because I feel like this should be a good filler episode. Also, who doesn't love good plot? So yeah. And also, I need to get an assignment done, so that needs to be done. I can't spend too much time on this part, and it's almost reaching 40 minutes, so I just tick that, done. Yeah, I'm not trying to be bad with these uploads, it's just at the moment, bit busy, and I will say YouTube will come out later this week, and I'll probably replace this week's Swamp Thing or Senku. I'm thinking of something. I'm just going to replace that with Pokemon because that hasn't been put out for a while. And yeah, so I hope you all like this very cultured part. And please do let me know down below what you thought of it. And what I mean you really thought about it. But anyway, I gotta get work to do. Or work done. But all you good people, all you beautiful people, I wish you all the best and have a good one. I've been King of Underworld, and I'll see you later.